Hello beautiful people, how are you? I am going to be doing a clearing on the need to be perfect. I've seen that a few times recently with people, the need to be perfect, because that need to be perfect is all about control and needing to control everything. Everything's got to be exact, and you have to question yourself if you have that running. I used to be a perfectionist. Not now, but I used to be a very big perfectionist. Everything had to be just right, and it's great to have standards, but when you work back that need for perfection, it's usually coming from a fear of failure or something along those lines. Fear of abandonment, fear of failure, normally fear of failure, because at some level you believe that you failed in some way for not getting what you needed, usually as a child, not having your expectations met as a child, not getting that love, care, praise, attention, nurturing that you needed as a child. Child then internalizes it and then wants to make their environment, they end up controlling their environment. Maybe they felt very unsafe as a result in their environment growing up, and then there is a need to get everything controlled to avoid that failure, avoid looking at that subconscious belief system that they're a failure underneath, or to avoid being abandoned or something along those lines. So that need for perfection is the need to be a perfectionist isn't just about having high standards. It's an underlying need, and therefore there is a lack running at a subconscious level. So let's get started on this. Right, so let's see where we're going with this need to be perfect, need for perfectionism. 20 positive, 100 negative. And it's at incarnational level, so I'm going to ask your high self teams to start clearing that straight away. This need to be perfect. And many of us have this in. I probably still have elements of it, but I used to be a massive perfectionist years and years ago. And that was all about creating a safe environment for me, and I was running a lot of failure energy myself then. But there's still layers of it. I think with all of us, we have little layers. The more we expand our energy, the more we're offered another opportunity to refine that vibration. And this is why we keep having these things coming up again and again. You think, oh, I thought I cleared that 3 years ago, or why has this come back up? You haven't gone backwards. This is the common thought, that you've gone backwards. It's not that at all. It's that your consciousness has expanded like a spiral, and so you're offered another opportunity to refine that vibration again, and gradually it just gets less and less and less. So the attachment to that thought just sort of disappears, really, in my experience, and then it just becomes a thought that comes and goes without any attachment to it, and thoughts just come and go, and then thoughts only ever think about thoughts anyway. So, which is all I've always found very profound. Thoughts only ever think about thoughts. They're not real. So chart 6A, which is master programs, discordant energy. Inside left, abuse. So there's the safety issue. Inside right, failure. There you go. Inside left, abandonment. And there you are again. And outside right, terror. So you see where the perfectionisms come from, and they have other lifetime roots. So let's clear those master programs and discordant energy and any imprints of those away as well. So failure, terror, abandonment and abuse, all connecting with the need to be perfect. That unsafe environment. So that need for perfectionism is that need to control, that need to feel in control of your environment, in control of what you're doing, so it won't fail. Because if it fails, what does that say about you? That's the belief system that you're holding at a subconscious level. It's not real. It's the illusion. It's the story your subconscious is telling about itself. And I need to control my environment so I feel safe, because of all the abuse or the threat of abandonment that I had as a child. And the best way of doing that is through controlling everything. Everything's got to be just right. It's got to be just perfect. So, chart 17. So it's not just about high stands at all. It's about creating a safe environment. Blocks to the creative force, a desire to suffer. So let's clear those away, and that's at Lord of Lords level, which is the first expression of the living soul. Okay, wonderful. Again, this is just like a taster, a mini group clearing. We're going to a lot more depth in the personal clearings. Alternate life paths and root causes has come up in the spiritual realm. So let's clear those alternate life paths and root causes. So again, this may be a carry through from other lifetimes or from alternate life paths within this lifetime. Every choice we make, every decision we make is sending us down a particular pathway. And we have multiple pathways. So we're clearing those root causes away as well, which is great. Okay, where are we going next? Chart 31, which is memory clearing. Council of 13, so we're clearing that through Godhead and Spirit. I think so many of us, I'm going to put my hand up to this one as well, have such a lot of need for control in our lives that we don't recognize, we do not recognize how much we are trying to control everything in our lives. And we think that we're not controlling, but almost everything, because we're caught up in duality, almost everything is a need for control. The ego needs to be in control to feel safe, because the ego is always seeing threats everywhere. We have to get beyond all of that and surrender, learn to surrender, to be in the moment, because we're never in the moment when we're controlling everything. It's a process getting there. So people say, oh, just observe. And I always find that a bit, it's true, but it's not as easy. It's not as easy as that. It's a process. Or maybe that's what my ego's saying, telling me it's just a process. So maybe that isn't true either. I'm sure it isn't, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Okay, we're going to mop up. So let's go to mop up. This is where the bulk of the clearing takes place by the other teams. I mean, everything's illusion, isn't it? And we tell ourselves all these things. But where's it coming from? These stories that we tell ourselves, where are they coming from? Who's saying them? Who am I? Right, okay, anything else to do? Are we done? Okay, so let's see where we are now. The need to be perfect, the perfectionism. 100 positive, 0 negative, that feels lighter. So we've definitely cleared something from you there. And that's a radiant lovely paradigm. Wonderful. So you take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next clearing. Lots and lots of love. Bye.